The blood in the garden. Elena Rose always believed her life was a gift. She was raised in the stone manor on Hollow Hill, a crooked and ancient house that leaned like a sleeping beast under a quilt of ivy. Her childhood was filled with warmth, soft fires, the scent of rosemary from the kitchen, and gentle voices that told her bedtime stories no one else had ever heard. She did not remember her mother and father. Aunt Lisa told her they had died in a fire protecting her when she was just a baby. "They were brave," Lisa would say, brushing Elena's hair by firelight. "They gave you everything, so now we give you the rest." So Elena grew up with her Aunt Lisa, Uncle Viren, and her cousin Merrick. To Elena, Merrick was the moon-distant, unpredictable, but always pulling her toward him. He was her first laugh, her first fight, her first comfort. Though they were only cousins by blood, the bond between them felt eternal. The people in the nearby village of Dormir eyed them with suspicion. They crossed themselves when Elena walked by. Mothers pulled their children close. Priests muttered blessings under their breath. She had always felt like a ghost in their presence. She asked Viren once why the villagers feared their family. "We are old," he said, "and the old ways frighten small minds." Elena's 22nd birthday arrived like mist on the hillside, quiet, cold, and strange. She awoke to a white rose on her pillow. No note, just a single drop of something red on the petals. She frowned but said nothing. That night, as the sun sank and the moon rose low, swollen and red, she found an envelope slipped under her bedroom door. Yellowed parchment, waxless seal. Her name written in jagged, unfamiliar script. Inside was a short message. "Elena, you are not safe. They are not your family. Run before the moon turns red. A friend." Her breath caught. She stared at the letter so long her tea went cold. The words pulsed in her mind like a second heartbeat. When she showed it to Merrick, he looked at her with unreadable eyes. "Probably a prank," he said. "The village always hated us." But his hand trembled when he touched the letter. That afternoon, Elena went to her sanctuary. The garden sat in the center of the estate, surrounded by hedgerows that grew taller every year. It was her refuge, her cathedral. She had grown every herb, flower, and vine with her own hands. But some plants had always been there, older than the soil, blacker than shadow. Chief among them, the black tulips. They grew only on Hollow Hill, nowhere else. She had asked about them once, and Lisa simply smiled and said, "They drink deep. Today, they bled." Elena bent down to water them, and noticed one tulip was weeping thick red droplets. When she touched the petal, her finger came away, smeared with blood. The earth around the flowers pulsed. "Elena." She jumped. Merrick stood behind her, silent as a ghost. "You weren't supposed to see that yet." "See what?" "Merrick, what's going on?" He stepped into the shade of the tulips, and the light bent around him. His shadow twisted. His eyes flickered with a glint too dark to be human. "I didn't want you to find out like this." "Find out what?" "That you're not like them. Not like anyone." He sighed, almost mournfully. "You're the last of a sacred bloodline. Our bloodline. Half human, half more." Her knees nearly gave out. "You're lying." "I wish I were." Elena fled. She ran from the garden, through the stone corridor, back toward the manor. But it was not the house she knew. The windows watched her. The wallpaper breathed. Doors led to places that had never existed. She screamed. No one came. At the gate, her strength gave out. Her vision blurred. Her skin glowed faintly under the blood moon. Then he was there, Viren, suddenly and impossibly. "You are precious," he whispered. "You have no idea what sleeps in your bones." "You lied to me," she spat. "All of you. We protected you," said Lisa, appearing behind him. Her form shifted, her face widening into an unnatural grin. "We raised you in kindness. You should be grateful. I want to leave." "You cannot," Viren said simply. "Not tonight." The air thickened. The manor throbbed behind them like a living heart. "The rite begins." They took her back to the garden, though she did not walk. The ground pulled her. Roots coiled around her feet like hands. The black tulips bloomed taller than men. Their petals curled like claws. Candles burned in a circle around her, casting shadows that danced on their own. She was placed at the center. "This is your inheritance," Lysa said. "1,000 years of blood. You will rise, and through you, our kind will return." "You're monsters," Elena hissed. "No," Merrick said. "We are what came before monsters. And you are our future." Tears fell from her eyes. She looked at Merrick. "You said you loved me." "I do," he whispered. "That's why I wanted you to be ready." Then a chant began. Words that made the sky tremble. That made the trees bow. The tulips opened wider, revealing eyes inside their centers watching, and then a crash of wind and silver. Figures in silver cloaks broke the circle. The sky screamed. One of them, a tall woman with silver eye shelled a glowing blade and tossed salt into the ring. Lysa recoiled, hissing. "She has a choice," the woman declared. "You cannot force her." "Elena is ours," Viren howled. "No," the woman said. "She is mine." Elena's breath caught. "Who are you?" The woman lowered her hood. Her face bore the features of Elena's dreams. Kindness behind strength. "I'm your mother's sister. We tried to stop them when you were born, but they took you, hid you," Elena sobbed. "Then help me." The woman knelt and held out a dagger iron, ancient, glowing. "You can complete the rite and join their blood, or sever the line, end it. This is your choice." Merrick's voice broke. "If you kill the roots, you'll kill me." Elena looked into his eyes, saw the boy she loved and the demon he had become, and she knew. She gripped the dagger and plunged it into the soil. The garden exploded in white fire. The tulips screamed. Shadows burned. Roots writhed and tore free of the earth. Lysa tried to flee, but her body twisted into a spiral of smoke and vanished. Viren cracked like glass and turned to dust. Merrick reached for hair, his arm disintegrating midair. "Elena?" She looked into his eyes. "I loved you. I still do," he said, and then he was gone. The fire burned away the curse. The manor crumbled into stone and ash. The tulips were gone. Only Elena remained, glowing with golden light. The woman helped her stand. "It is done," she said. "You chose your soul. I don't know what I am. You're both, human and ancient. But now, your blood is your own. What happens now?" The silver-cloaked figures gathered behind her. Hunters, watchers, protectors. "You train," the woman said. "There are others who hunger for the gates. But you are the key. You can keep them closed." Elena turned, looking once more at the ashes of the house that raised her. Then she looked ahead, toward a future that was hers. She stepped forward and didn't look back. Subscribe my channel and comment below your ideas about story.